What's up, squad? So this is now leg day, first leg day after going Isochain only. I am going to attempt squat but light, so no 315 shenanigans today. I am very concerned, not worried, just concerned about my back, because remember I told you I'm not doing squats anymore as part of my natural leg routine. But I do want to see just how it feels like at a lighter weight, because essentially I've done the Austin squat and Zercher squat on the Isochain with relative success. I just want to see how it feels. Dynamic version. I know 135 is going to be a joke for me to go up, but I just want to see how my legs feel, and I'm probably going to go to no more than 185. If I'm feeling 225, maybe, I don't know. Let's find out. Alright guys, so I'm doing the barbell squat with a warm-up for 135. After doing it for just a few seconds, I realized it was no issue whatsoever. Again, this is not the weight that I normally do. 315 is when I start to really pack on the muscle, but ever since February, I stopped doing barbell squat. So it's been like over half a year since, and doing this, I felt no issue whatsoever. Knees, lower back, totally fine. Wearing a belt though. That's just really easy. So I lowered it a little bit. I'm going to try 135 again, and then I'm getting into it. So we got RDLs, hip thrusts, squats, and lunges on the agenda for today, and ending it with some progressively tough calf raises. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I wanted to try one more set of 135 just to make absolutely sure I was, making the right decision here, because again, I haven't done squats since February. So it felt decent. The concentric was nothing. Doing those Isochain Austin squats in the bottommost position for a month definitely helped with my speed from the bottom. I could tell for sure, especially not being in squats for a while. So now I switch up to the 185. So I do 185 for 3 sets of 10. Again, weight that is normally just not enough for me to stimulate a growth response, but in this specific scenario it was just fine. Again, no problem at all. Even with that increased weight, the muscle stabilizers were pretty good here. It just seemed that I had to deal with it for just the chest. I did this the day after the chest and bicep, and it was fine. I attribute it mostly to the fact that I just did more leg day than upper body, as far as hitting the muscle groups multiple times. It's not really tough. I mean, the concentric is like, it wants to go even faster, but I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to say. Let's see how I feel after doing 3. So 185 is good for today. My ego is saying go higher because you've done higher, but I'm trying to quiet it down because I like my back the way it is, intact. All right, so we finishing up with these barbell squats. And at this point, I was starting to think, dude, do you just want to put 225 on and just get it over with? Because it really wasn't difficult. I mean, at that point, I knew that all those leg exercises on the Isochain were working. It was no problem whatsoever. The concentric phase was a joke, especially with this weight. My Austin squat numbers were really high. I mean, I think it was like over 3. The split squats were in the 3s right at the end. So to do this, I mean, it's just not, it just really wasn't much of anything. But again, I had to check my ego. The ego was the hardest thing about this lift, this leg day, because I really wanted to go heavier, because my mind is like, bro, you know what you normally do. But it's like, you know what, let me check through the door, because I like my back the way it was. I think I even say that later in the video. But yeah, not bad. You could definitely tell that the strength was there from the Isochain. Cake, though it feels weird, like concentric and eccentric are totally fine, but I still feel a little bit of muscle exhaustion. I guess at 185 I'm supposed to, but I don't know. Whatever, let's keep going. All right, so it is RDL time, and right away you can notice that I'm not coming out all the way up and getting that little hip pop at the end that I normally do with the RDL or the traditional deadlift. Again, it's just because I'm really touch and go. I haven't done this exercise either pretty much all year. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay with the dynamic version, and it was. You just saw the thumbs up, totally fine. I still wasn't gonna get the complete lockout. So I'm like, all right, you know what, let me just get most of the movement there. I'm getting like 98% of the movement, and that's fine. It is 185, totally okay. My RDL max was 405, so this is, you know, again, I'm not putting 405 on my back, but right now, it definitely felt like I had 315 if I wanted to, with no issue. And I could start to feel the RDL from the Isochain as far as the neural pathways that I built up from just going all in. I really wanted to fling that weight up. And you can kind of see it here. I don't know if it's that apparent watching the video of the dynamic phase. I feel like, again, a true testament would be to jack more weight on it, but again, I'm just not gonna do that, but yeah. RDLs were totally fine. It felt kind of weird doing any version of dynamic deadlift since I pretty much haven't the entire year, so it felt a little awkward. It was not bad. I mean, the concentric was just fine. The eccentric was okay this time. It was not like the upper body at all, and maybe that's because I wasn't doing a bro split. I was just hitting every major once for upper body, while lower body was just that much more intense, hitting the majors multiple times in a single session. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and continue with this. Once we finish leg day, however, I'm just gonna do a brief synopsis of the next 2 dynamic days, because there's no need to continue doing them. I mean, I can just tell you and not waste anyone's time. All right, now on to my favorite leg exercise ever. Yeah, no, that is totally sarcasm, and it is the dumbbell lunge. But I will tell you that as far as best bang for buck, dude, I gotta give it to the lunge. I mean, the lunge is just so hard to beat. Just as far as just, man, it's just hard to beat. Like, barbell squat's great, leg press is great, hack squat's great. All those different types of leg compound lift variations are great, but to be honest, lunges have been where it's at, and that's what I've been using primarily to build my legs up recently. And I've not had an issue with it. I think I had it in another video where I had a before and after from January to June using lunges as a replacement for the squat, because I said I wouldn't do that anymore, and you can see the difference in them. And I'm like, you know what, yeah. And so now, talking about the Isochain, so the translation, using the Bulgarian split squat, which is such a freaking sleeper exercise on the Isochain, I highly recommend doing that. If you guys haven't, Austin squat's good. I'm not gonna hold you. Austin squat is a fantastic leg exercise to do an Isochain. It made my barbell squats a joke. I know it's a lighter weight, but still, I know what it feels like. But the Bulgarian split squat with Zercher style holds on the Isochain is just really good. I mean, that's the one exercise I really dreaded doing, but I knew it was working. I mean, I was soaked after doing that. I'll be cruising through the leg days, you know, no problem. Deadlift, no problem. RDL, no problem. Zercher, no problem. Austin, no problem. As soon as I saw Bulgarian split squat left and right, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again, boys. But it was fine. It was great. Highly recommend it. I could tell immediately the translation here. Lunges suck just as much as they did pre-challenge as they do post-challenge. But that's good because timer just went off. It is a fantastic leg exercise. I am 100% going to be sore from this because as of this recording, that chest exercise and bicep exercise, I am dying. I felt it before 24 hours were up. So I know my legs are screwed. So that'll be interesting. Isochain only day when it's time to do it. But so far, I mean, I just have calf raises, so I pretty much know how it's gonna go. Not bad. I mean, I don't feel like that loss of eccentric phase. Not complete loss, not complete, just a little bit of loss, excuse me, as I did with the upper body. So, all right, not bad. Looks like everything came through pretty good. Isochain came through. I'd say that, you know, maybe I could have worked a little harder. My lower back being like touch and go was really annoying. Like I said, I'm sure if I didn't have that injury or the stupid one upper body, the numbers would have been a lot higher. And this workout here might have been a little different, but I definitely don't experience a decrease in strength, that is for sure. Strength increase number-wise, hypertrophy went up. So far, I'd call this a win, so now we're just gonna check the other 2 days, and we're going to skip in time to the next part of the video. What's up, squad? So we finished everything. Our workout was good. All of them, the shoulders, the back, the abs, everything. It looks like only the bench really had like the muscle stabilizer issue. I did notice overall that the muscular endurance took a hit. It is probably the most noticeable, even more so than the stabilizer, is the muscular endurance. What I could have done in retrospect, now I wanted to do the 6x6 for sure. That was the whole purpose of the experiment, to see if I kept strength and built on top of the strength that I already had. In order to save the muscular endurance, I would have had either a burnout set where I'm holding until failure using time mode, or I would have incorporated some hypertrophy sets, because those hypertrophy sets reps where we're holding for 20 to 45 seconds, that is teaching your muscles endurance. All right, the 6 seconds, you're not teaching yourself endurance. In fact, you're taking away from it. If you think about it, yeah, you could argue, well, okay, so it's 36 seconds under tension, and you're right, it is. It's 36 seconds under tension. Our muscles adapt to the way that we train them. So if we're a power lifter, they're all about like 1 rep maxes and explosive movement. If we're a bodybuilder, we're all about that time under tension. And if we're endurance, you know, it's a whole different ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different ball game depending on how you train. So I wasn't training for that, and so my muscles are like, oh, we don't need this anymore, so let's just get rid of it. Now I didn't completely get rid of it, but you see what I'm saying? So otherwise, I would say that the total experiment was a success. My lifting is fine, minus the hidden endurance. And if I were to do this again, I would make just a couple adjustments on endurance. That's it, really. It worked. I'd also incorporate bro splits instead of just doing an upper body and lower body like how I did. It worked pretty well. I'd call it a success. For newcomers to the squad, shit works, guys. Sorry, man. Facts are facts and numbers are numbers. So there you go. We will have more people doing. I've had a couple people hit me up that are interested in doing this, so I will feature you on the channel. Go ahead and hit me up in my DMs down in the description. That's how you can link up with me. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to drop a like, go ahead and comment. And if you're not yet part of the squad, hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad with us. See you next video. Peace.